So let's talk about having a plan. So the first thing I'll say is you've got to commit and be, yes, I'm going to have a plan. That's really the big step. Sounds super simple, but it's often overlooked. All right. Students just think, I'll study when I can, I'll get ready when I can, I'll do the best I can. But no, I really want you to commit to saying, I am going to have a day by day plan for getting ready for the NCLEX. And really what you have to do is you have to decide how many weeks can you study. And that can be very different from person to person. If you have a lot of time to study every day and you don't have a lot of other commitments, then you could probably do a shorter study plan versus somebody who's working, maybe has children or family obligations, other commitments. Then they may need a longer plan. So really look at how much time do you have, and don't worry about what other people are doing for a plan. Make a plan that's going to work for you. Then you really have to decide, what do you want on this study plan? Okay, I really want you to fill it with lots of practice tests because, again, I believe that you need to do as many practice NCLEX questions as you can before test day. But I also want you to put some time to review videos. I want you to have some time to do some content review. So you need to think about, what are all these things that I want to put on this study plan to feel confident on test day? Then you need to actually just sit down and make a calendar, whether it's on your computer, whether it's an old-fashioned paper calendar. You need to say on every day, what are you going to do to get ready for the NCLEX? And you know what? This will really take a lot of pressure off of you, because instead of feeling like, people often will say, I need to study. Well, gosh, how many hours makes you feel like you studied? I mean, how many times have you sat at a desk for 4, 6, 8 hours studying, and at the end, you really don't know what you accomplished? I did as a student, so I think it's probably quite common. And really, what can really help with that problem is the idea of writing down what you're going to do. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to take a 100-question practice test. The next day, I'm going to remediate it. The day after that, I'm going to watch 3 videos on subjects that I didn't perform well on during those tests. Being very concrete that way will help you get prepared for the NCLEX. And it also helps prevent you from being burned out, because you're not going to sit there for 8 hours. You're going to do that task, accomplish it, check it off, and then you can go on with your day with other things. And then the next day, you'll look at what's on your list for that day, and you will accomplish those goals. So again, you have to commit to that plan. You need to tell your friends, your family, that you have this plan and that this is really important to you, and you need to get their support on that plan. Okay, so now what I really want to talk to you about is the idea of putting what I just said into action. So at Kaplan, we actually have a video that shows you how to create different plans, 4, 6, 8-week plans. But everybody's plan can be individualized to what's going on in their life. Here's just an example of one 4-week plan. A 4-week plan can look very different from person to person. But in this, what we do at Kaplan is we have a variety of different tests called Q-Bank tests, question trainers, readiness tests, etc., that we have for students, sample tests, things like that. And we fit all of that in the study plan so that the student at the end has really accomplished a significant number of NCLEX practice questions and had the opportunity to remediate those questions and learn from them. So in this example, we can see with the red circle that the student starts the plan by taking question trainer 4, which is a 100-question test. The student will take the test, and then the R means that they will then remediate the test. Let's say as they remediate each question that they determined there were a lot of questions on diabetes and they didn't perform so well on those questions. So this just tells you as a student, that's okay. I need to do some review on diabetes. This is how you get better. You're not trying to review everything. You clearly see from that exam that diabetes is an area that requires review. So you really narrowed down your studying from that test. So what I like about this is that at Kaplan, for our students, they can go to the channel and we have two fabulous videos on diabetes. There's one on the prevention of DKA and there's one on hypoglycemia in type 1. So they can watch these two videos in a live or recorded format. And then they have remediated that area of concern on that test. So just again, to remember that practice tests are tools for growth. So they just help you get more comfortable and gain insights and build confidence for test day.